Welcome back, everybody. This is Zach with New England Sports Talk, and today we are recapping the 2019 draft profile for Tacko Fall, 7'6", 310-pound senior center out of UCF. He's actually from Senegal, but he played his basketball at UCF. Fantastic player, and we're going to just break it down here today and go over what he's all about. Before we get started, remember to hit that like button and subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think about Tacko Fall, and let me know who you'd like to see in the next video as well. Let's start with his strengths as usual. First thing is defense, shot blocking, rebound, all that stuff is good with him. You would kind of assume that with him being 7'6" and 310 pounds, but you know that's really his calling card. That's what he's going to bring to an NBA team. Now he does have an 8'4" wingspan. That's obviously what helps him become such a good shot blocker in the NCAA, and that'll translate into the NBA as well too. But that's an insane wingspan. There's a lot of things besides just shot blocking that's going to help contribute with. And it's not just him getting shot blocks either. It's him altering shots, him hogging up the lane or clogging up the lane, and being able to be not very easy to box out as well. So his size alone is going to help him and really contribute to offensive and defensive parts of the game. He's obviously very, very good at inside scoring, as you're going to see in the highlights here. So I didn't really list that as well because all of his points basically come in within like 1 to 2 or 3 feet from the basket. So, you know, not really anything that I would really wanted to mention too much. But the other thing that I want to mention as well too is he actually has pretty good mobility considering his size. Now, I'm not saying he's an elite athlete. He's not super duper quick. He's nothing like that. But given the fact that he's 7'6" and 310 pounds, he actually does have some pretty good mobility given his size. So I wanted to mention that as well. Let's talk about his growth areas. So just all in general itself is offensive game, whether it's assist, whether it's the pick and roll, whether it's the mid-range, definitely the free throw shooting, as you're going to see in just a second, as you see below. 3-point shooting is something that you would really wish that he'd have, because he's probably the difference between him and Bol is they both have the size. Obviously, Tacko Fall is much heavier and stronger than he is, but the reason why Bol is probably going to get drafted way ahead of Tacko Fall, and I mean way ahead of him, is because of the fact that he's able to stretch that floor at the 3-point range. I love Tacko Fall to death, but he just doesn't have much of an offensive game outside of 1 to 2 to 3 feet at all. And the fact that doesn't have very good free throw shooting, given his size, you would assume he's probably going to get fouled quite a bit. And if he can't contribute on the free throw end, teams aren't worried about fouling him because they're probably going to be just fine and not give up too many points. Now, there's only 3 games last season that he actually shot over 70%. That's not very good. He's got to be able to shoot better from the free throw shooting, and that would be the number one thing I would look at for him to improve. If I have Tacko Fall and I want him to get in the gym and work, I'm saying stick to the free throws first. We can worry about the conditioning. We can worry about your assist. We can worry about you shooting better from, beyond 5 feet, basically, eventually. But let's work on free throw shooting. Let's get that down. Let's make it difficult for people to be able to guard you defensively because of the fact that you can either dunk it on them easily, given you're 7'6", but also if we foul him, he's just going to knock down the free throws as well. So that would be my advice for him. Free throw shooting would be the first key for him coming into the next year. The third thing as well is conditioning. He's just got to be in better shape. Given the fact that he's 7'6" and 310, there are some drawbacks to that kind of weight. He isn't in the best conditioning of his life. He needs to get better at that. He needs to be able to stay on the court a lot longer and be more effective on the court as well. Fourth thing is durability. He did have a shoulder injury. I think he's probably going to be beyond that now, but that is another question that we have for him. Can he stay healthy, and is that shoulder injury truly fixed? Now let's jump over and talk about his career just in general. Now his best year that he's had was his sophomore year, where he averaged almost 11 points a game, 9.5 rebounds, 2.6 blocks, and that was a really big time year for him. He really did good in his junior year and his senior year as well too, but that was a big difference in him, and his confidence was his sophomore year. He did really well. Now let's talk about this season though. On February 24th, he had a big time game against SMU. He had 23 points, 20 rebounds, shot 11 of 14 shooting, and obviously he contributed in the blocks and as well too, had 2 big blocks also in that game. Fantastic stat line. Anybody who can average 23, or not average, but have a game that gets 23 points and 20 rebounds is probably going to be on some radars of some NBA scouts, and that's exactly what happened. So fantastic stat line, fantastic game. Now a month later was the game that everybody saw. Everybody saw Tacko Fall UCF against against Zion and Duke. They did lose by only 1 point on March 24th versus Duke, but he did put up 15 points, 7 of 10 shooting, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, and Zion did play 40 minutes in that game. So fantastic, fantastic game by Tacko Fall. Really performed really well, even though that they lost, and even though they were the underdog, obviously against Zion and Duke, but he played really well. That was a really big point of him, and really good way to finish off his career of consistency, of consistent defense, and getting outside of his comfort zone as far as just being more aggressive. And that was a really good game to show that and to showcase what his ability is. Let's talk about his 2018-2019 stats. He did have 11.1 points per game last year, 7.6 rebounds, half an assist a game, and then field goal percentage, he shot basically 75%. So obviously with his growth areas that we just talked about, you see in the numbers here what he needs to improve on is his assist, and then obviously shooting outside the paint, because if he shot outside the paint, I think he'd probably be getting maybe 14, 15, maybe 16 points a game if he's able to contribute that, because nobody's going to block his shot, right? He's 7'6". Who's going to block him? And in these highlights, he's like a man against monster, or a man against minions, basically. He's just massive against these guys. So, nobody's going to block his shot, but you'd like to see that improve in his points per game and his assists, but not bad. He's probably going to be mid-second round pick, maybe late second round pick, maybe early second round pick, but he's definitely going in the second round, in my opinion. I have him probably in the mid-second round pick, though. Let's talk about his comparison, and the comparison I'm going to give to him is Roy Hibbert. Now, do not think of Roy Hibbert, the version of Roy Hibbert when he averaged like 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 blocks, whatever that stat line was in the NBA playoffs. That's not the type of Roy Hibbert that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Roy Hibbert when Paul George was becoming Paul George. They had a really good group on the Indiana Pacers at that time. Roy Hibbert was a centric part of that team. Now, the game isn't the same as it was 7, 8, 10 years ago. Big men who have slick, smooth shots or whatever post-game, it's not so much anymore. You've got to be able to contribute more from the perimeter as well, or at least the mid-range. But I think Tacko Fall can still make his mark in the game. He's going to be more of like a Roy Hibbert. That would be his ceiling. The good Roy Hibbert again, not the bad Roy Hibbert. But that was it, guys. That was my recap of the 2019 draft profile for Tacko Fall. As always, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see next in the next video, and we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.